Old man, she had promised. Tips big. Angel stopped and listened to the deserted quiet, feeling the silence deep inside his ears. He went back to work, gently placing what he needed on the bar. After pouring the carefully measured gin and vermouth into the metal shaker, he held the lid tight and turned it over and back, over and back. He gave it one last shake, then filled the 3 fancy glasses he had placed on the tray. The darkness played tricks on his eyes. Was that a swarm of gnats hovering near the bar, or just floating dust particles? He blew them away and focused on his task. Las aceitunas, he thought. Olives. He looked around and saw a mini refrigerator under the bar. He had to kneel to see inside, and found a large round jar in the back, the green orbs floating in liquid like detached eyeballs. Angel hated olives and hoped he wouldn't have to fish them out with his fingers. As he rose, he was thinking about finding a fork he could use to pluck the slimy orbs from their cold bath, and how his grandfather used to pop them in his mouth like candy. Disgusting. And then he saw something. The tiny swarm had grown. It was now a mass of swirling dust particles floating over one of the bar stools. As he stared, transfixed, they took on a recognizable shape, joining together until they weren't separate specks, but one solid image. The jar fell from his hand and crashed, shattering the silence. It was her, the Phantom. And right before his eyes, she became a real woman, with dark, impish eyes and a small hat. Angel jumped back, almost slipping on the wet floor. He grabbed onto the bar and froze, unable to do anything but blink at the space that had been empty only seconds ago. "Just as well," she said, peering over the bar at the olives rolling across the floor. "He likes his martinis with a twist." He rubbed his eyes. She couldn't be real, could she? The apparition picked up one of the drinks he had just made and took a sip. "Not bad, Angel. You may have a future here." You know my name?" A chill danced down his spine. She pointed a dainty finger at his name tag. "What do you want from me?" he asked. She tipped back the martini and finished it. Then she picked up another. "You'll need to make more of these. Cheers." Angel watched as she sipped the drink, closing her eyes in delight. "I hope you have cigarettes in that pocket," she said. "I'm positively desperate." "Cigarettes?" "If you tell me they're bad for my health, I may scream." Angel pulled a pack of Marlboros from his jacket, placed it on the bar, and stood back. She looked down at the cigarettes as if she expected him to do something. Finally, she extracted one and put it between her lips. "A light," she said. He swallowed hard and took a disposable lighter from his pocket, but his hands were so damp in fear he couldn't get it to ignite. He tried again and again. "I have all the time in the world," she said. Literally. Finally, a short flame rose, and he carefully leaned forward to light her cigarette. She took a long drag. "Delightful," she said, exhaling. She took another puff and blew smoke rings. Angel stared as she continued smoking and drinking. What was she? The ghost flicked ashes into the empty martini glass, then shot him a glance and sighed as if bored by his awe. Still smoking with her right hand, she held her left hand toward him, palm down. He looked at it, wondering what she wanted him to do. "Go ahead," she said. "Miss?" "You're wondering if I'm real," she said. "So touch me." Her hand was small and feminine, with fingernails filed into points. Angel lightly poked it.